Okay, good morning, guys. Welcome back. Week number 6. This partial is almost over. Remember, we leave an empty space for the topic and we place the date in the right corner, which is September 27th, 2021. And just as always, when we're starting a new topic, there is one little definition that we need to know before we go ahead and practice and do exercises and do a classwork and whatever else we need to do about the topic itself. So the first thing, or the only word that we're going to define actually is literal equation. What is a literal equation? It is an equation involving, okay, it has more, involving two or more variables. It's a literal equation. It is an equation that has two or more variables, okay? Formulas are one special type of literal equations. Okay, so formulas are literal equations. And how do we transform these formulas? We're going to transform formulas and why should we transform formulas? Because we need probably a variable that's not the one that's given equal to. So we're going to transform a formula or a little equation by solving for one variable in terms of the other. Okay, this means that you get the variable you're solving for alone on one side of the equation. Basically, what we have been doing when we're solving normal equations. So an example, I'm going to give you the example of perimeter. The formula for perimeter is equal to perimeter of a square, okay? Perimeter of a square or a rectangle. It is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. That's the formula, okay? But let's say that I want to solve for W. I want to solve for W. That's what I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask to solve for the width. So what are you going to do to solve for the width? I'm going to do it in black. Okay, the first thing is that we're going to leave the W completely alone in one side. So that means that this 2L that is positive goes to the other side with inverse operations, which we know already. If it's positive, it goes negative. So I'm going to have perimeter P minus 2 times the length. And you see I'm writing the L like in cursive letter because if not, it will get mistaken with a 1. So 2L is equal to 2W. But they're not asking for 2W. They're asking me to leave it in terms of W only. So I need to leave that W completely alone. So that 2 that is multiplying needs to go to the other side.
Dividing.
Dividing, very well. So I'm going to say now P minus 2L over 2. And that is equal to W. And that is how you transform a formula. You got a formula for perimeter of a square or a rectangle, and you solve for W. You leave the variable alone. Now, why do I need that? What do I need to know about this and how to transform formulas? Because when you get to 10th grade, you will for sure use formulas a lot in physics, because in 10th grade, you're going to start taking the topics or the class, which is called physics. In Spanish is física elemental. And in física elemental, in physics, you get to see a lot of formulas. You see the formulas for perimeters, you see formulas of areas, you see formulas for motion, for energy, and there are a ton of other formulas. So for example, I give you an exercise and I say, for example, the formula for changing Celsius, Fahrenheit into Celsius is this, okay? Transform the formula to find the Fahrenheit temperature in terms of Celsius. And I'm gonna give you a formula and you need to transform it and you need to use the data given, okay? If it's a written exercise, because you need to know a lot about written exercises or word problems, okay? So I'm gonna write an exercise as a word problem using this same formula, okay? I'm going to say, okay, an engineer, we're gonna call this example 1. Or exercise 1 or 12. An engineer is designing a rectangular green area for a neighborhood. There is a 24-meter perimeter of it, a 24 area, 24 perimeter zone, okay, available. I'm looking up this exercise, by the way, so I don't know the answer. Available. It has a width of 5 meters. What is the length? Of the zone. And that's it. An engineer is designing a rectangular green area for a neighborhood. There is a 24 perimeter zone available. It has a width of 5 meters. What is the length of the zone? That's it. I'm just giving you that. That's it, okay? So first of all, you need to know the formula of perimeter. We saw this last school year and we said that the perimeter for a rectangle or a square is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width, okay? Now, after doing that, I'm going to say, what am I being asked? I'm being asked for the length. I don't know that. That's what they're asking. What is the length? What are they giving me? They're giving me the width, which in this case is 5 meters. And they're giving me the perimeter, which in this case is 24 meters. That's what they're giving me. Okay, that's it. Now, I need to find L, but you can see L is not completely alone. So I need to transform the formula in order to solve for L, okay, or to write the equation in terms of L. What am I going to do? I'm going to use inverse operations. So I need to leave the 2L completely alone. So the 2W goes to the opposite side. Since it's positive, it goes
Dividing.
Negative.
negative because it's positive. So it goes negative. So I'm going to have now the P minus 2W is equal to 2L. But they're not asking for 2L. They're asking for L, for the length only, not twice the length. So the 2 goes to the other side, dividing, right? Because I was multiplying. So now I got the P minus 2 times the width over 2 will be equal to the length. This is the transformation of the formula. Now in black, I'm going to solve for L. Okay, so instead of doing P, I'm going to evaluate, just like when we were evaluating an equation. We place the 24 minus the 2 of the formula times the width, which was 5, divided by 2. And that's going to give me L. Okay, so now I use PEMDAS. 24 minus 2 times 5, 10 over 2 is equal to L. 24 minus 10, that is how much?
14.
So 14 over 2 is equal to the length. And 14 divided by 2 is how much?
7.
7.
7. But 7 what? Popcorns? Meters? Oranges? Meters, because every measurement is meters. So 7 meters is equal to the length. So the length is 7 meters, okay? And that's what you're going to be doing. Okay, so this is the procedure of math. I'm going to show you in yellow the math procedure. This is transforming a formula. And this other part in green is solving for the formula. Okay? And this is what we're going to be doing for right now. Some exercises, we're just going to transform a formula. And in some word exercises, you're going to transform and then solve for the formula, for the equation. Question so far? No? Okay, let's do another example. I'm going to move this to one side. Okay, give me a second. Let me see. We're going to use now just to transform. We're going to transform. We're going to transform a formula for area. We're going to transform the formula of an area of a triangle. What's the formula of area of a triangle? Imagine that that's a pretty nice triangle. What's the formula for area of a triangle? So it is A stands for area, equal to 1/2 of the base times the height. That's the formula of area of a triangle. And for this exercise in particular, I want you guys, or I want us to solve for H. Okay, we're gonna solve for the height, okay? So meaning that we're gonna leave the variable H completely alone, okay? Completely alone. So what's the first thing that I need to do? What's the first thing that I need to do? The first thing that I need to do is to leave the variable that I'm going to solve for completely alone. So it is H. That's the one that I need to leave completely alone. Everything else needs to go with an inverse operation to the other side, right? So 1/2, remember, it is a fraction that is multiplying. It's supposed to go to the other side. How? How is it supposed to go?
Dividing.
It's supposed to go dividing, right? But remember what we learned last school year, that if we have a over 1/2, we got a fraction within a fraction. And that doesn't look nice, right? That doesn't look pretty. That doesn't look easy. So I'm not going to use that. So what am I going to do? Instead, only when I have fractions multiplying and go to the other side dividing, I'm going to continue to multiply, but I'm going to flip or reverse. Flip or reverse the fraction. So I'm going to have now A times, and instead of 1/2, 2/1 equals to B times H. And now I got a multiplication in there. So remember, I can multiply A times 2, that's 2A. Over 1, do I need the 1 as a denominator? No, so I can leave it as 2H. equals to BH. Okay, but now H still not alone. I need to leave the H completely unknown. So this B that's multiplying goes to the other side.
Dividing.
Dividing, very good. So now I got 2A over B is equal to H. And this is the transformation of the formula of area in terms of H. You will be doing this a lot in physics in 10th and 11th grade. Okay, you will be doing that. You will also be doing transformations of formulas in chemistry. And you will be also transforming formulas in geometry next school year. So you need to know how to transform formulas. Okay. Questions so far? You guys have any questions so far? Okay, let's place the name of the topic. What's the topic's name? And I've been
Literal equations.
No. I've been using that word a lot. What is
Transforming formulas.
without the transforming? It is only formulas. That's the name of
Okay.
the formulas. Even though we're transforming formulas, even though formulas are little equations, we're just gonna call it formulas. Questions? No questions? Okay, let's do one more exercise. We still have time to transform one more exercise, okay? We're doing it from the book. We're going to transform volume, okay? Volume of a cylinder. Okay, what's the formula for the volume of the cylinder? Right now, like I'm telling you, I'm going to give you the formula. So the formula for a cylinder is equal to V equals to special number pi, radius to the square, times height. Okay, and we are going to solve for R. We're leaving the R completely alone, okay? So we're going to identify this. This is the one that we need to leave alone. Everything else needs to go to the opposite side with inverse operations. Okay, so pi, it's a number, special number. So pi, how does it go to the other side? How does pi go to the other side? Pi r squared times h. If there's no sign in between of them, they are
Dividing.
exactly, they're multiplying, so they go divided. So now I'm going to have v over pi equals to r squared times h. Now I need to pass the h because I'm leaving the r squared completely alone. So the h is also multiplying, so it goes. It goes dividing as well. Now pay attention. When we have something that's multiplying and goes dividing, and I already have a fraction on the other side, I will just go ahead and copy both things in the denominator. So pi h equals to r squared. Okay. The h also goes dividing, so it goes right next to the pi. Now I got r squared, but they're not asking for r squared. They are asking for r only. So this is not what I need. I don't need r squared. I need r. And I got r squared. How do I get rid of that square? How do I get rid of that square? What's it?
Adding the other invisible exponent of the fraction.
No. What was the inverse operation for an exponent 2?
Square root.
The square root, correct. So I'm going to square root both sides. When I'm eliminating a square, I'm gonna do it with the square root on both sides. So this exponent 2 gets rid with this square root. But in here, I don't have nothing to get rid of it with, okay? So I'm going to say that the square root of v over pi h, give me a second, I'm gonna erase that. There. And now this is an h is equal to r. And that is the transformation of the volume of a cylinder for r. Do you guys have a question? Are you sure everything is clear? Tomorrow we're going to work in this. Okay, then this is the topic for today. Formulas and transforming formulas.